I've got two that I can choose from in the middle.
Well, I'll leave that entirely up to you.
Okay, I think I will do them both.
No worries. There's no rush. We still have plenty of time.
And this one's called The Understanding. And you'll kind of get the crux of the whole issue I'm trying to present as I read it.
So is this from the middle of the book, or?
Yeah, it's as we go through. The first one and the last one start it and tie it all up.
And this is?
And everything else runs its course through it.
Alrighty, so let's have a listen.
The Understanding. We wade knee deep in our own patterns of eternity, weaving the destiny we wear, mapping the world we create, stumbling through dreams, tripping on nightmares, cutting our teeth on the knife of life, visible and invisible, feeling and peeling hours like oranges, sharing slices of time. We are ghosts, filtering in and out of sky and soil. Dreaming, we're lying awake. Awake, we're inside the dream. We are the vapid expectations of our own personal poetry, filling page upon page with sunsets and moonbow, snowflakes and stardust. Waist deep, we begin the understanding.
And as you know, that's great. Science, I was reading a piece just a while ago that says that human beings, in fact, are stardust.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that piece. It was originally published, I think, in a scientific newsletter kind of. It wasn't, and then it was posted on Facebook, and I read it. And this physicist, or astrophysicist, went on to explain how our body's composition can be traced back to the origin of stars.
Exactly, and we not only come from stars, we probably, the stars, everything is all attached. It's all the same.
Yeah.
We're all the same, we just don't realize it.
Yeah,
But
it's a kind of a, well, it's a very beautiful image, really, and there's something very mystic and powerful about that.
And I like to believe that we are the expectations of our own personal poetry.
That's a great line.
Yeah, I like that.
All right,
vapid expectation.
5 more minutes.
Okay, so I'll do this poem, then I'll do the ending one. Okay?
Oh, sure, that's fine. Go ahead.
This one I like because it's concentration. I sit out on my patio.
All right.
Ravens line the sky at dusk, maneuvering the moon into positional importance, coaxing the stars out of hiding, smudging the horizon with random Rorschach patterns. A rich scoop of licorice ice cream melts over the skyline. Silence takes shape, awakening ghosts. If I concentrate, I see you walking toward me, smiling through a veil of tears. I collide with myself as your essence moves through me. The longer I concentrate, the less visible you become. When there is only haze and a slight scent of aftershave lingering in the air, I wonder where you are. I wonder where you are.
Okay, nice. And we're going to have a concluding poem now?
This ends the book.
Alrighty.
Called I've Been Dead. I travel the highway of dreams deep in the core of night to enter the dream you're dreaming. I rise as cool mist wandering through the smoky residue of signpost stars. Your image scatters in moon shadows, a trail that leads to your touch. Each twist and turn gathers heat as I close in on your spirit. High on a cliff of diamond dust at the far end of the universe, I gaze down on a pristine white see you wading the sparkling shoreline of turquoise blue waters with that familiar sachet that I'll love till the end of time. And I am at your side in a quarter split second. We touch with our eyes. You look at me and ask, where have you been? I whisper softly, I've been dead, writing poems on Earth.
Okay, nice inversion. I kept thinking, have you ever found yourself writing poems that come directly out of a dream, or is the dream kind of a philosophical principle? You see the difference?
Yeah, no, I haven't written anything that comes directly out of a dream, because my dreams are very disjointed.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I asked that because I've actually done it once myself. I had a dream of moss growing between these flagstones in Italy, and we were at a convent, and actually an event like that happened. I went to a convent with this French girl that I was dating at the time, and her aunt was a nun, and I somehow just had a dream of this little part of that visit many years later, and I took that and I incorporated it into a larger poem. And I'm wondering if when you write about dreams, if you take little fragments from your dreams and slide them into your poems, or if that's just something that, or if that's more of a philosophical way of understanding things.
As far as I know, I don't, but then maybe there's dreams I don't remember.
Right.
That
Well, people talk about that, and sometimes you hear people say, I can't distinguish between, did I dream that or did I live that, you know what I mean? People say that.
Yeah, I have the really, my dreams aren't all that interesting. I dream about shoes and you know, things that just aren't that interesting. A tire on a car, or, you know.
You're a very practical person when you're not dreaming in your dreams.
It's just the opposite of real life.
And when you're awake, you're writing about dreaming things. That's really interesting. Okay, now the other, and that kind of leads me to my other question, which is I'm curious about your writing habits. I know earlier in your poetic career, while you're waiting for your daughter, you sat in your car and wrote for hours on end. How does that work for you today? Do you have a specific schedule?
No schedule. Just when the spirit moves me, I do it. And then sometimes I just think to myself, God, I haven't written anything in about a week or two. I better write some stuff. So I pull out the book and I go outside and I sit there and wait for the first line, and then it all just comes and I write a bunch.
So you're, wow, that's quite remarkable. So you're not one of these folks that feels they have to be at their posts all the time.
Oh no.
You know, flagging away.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now does that happen often? That my other part of my question too is that, and this has happened to me, where I've written a poem and it just comes out complete, and you feel to yourself. And in fact, what I often do is I don't trust it, because it comes out. You say to yourself, "Oh, come on, this is just too perfect," and you have that, and it happens at one go. Because normally, you know this, you labor at something to get it just right. Now, what's your experience with? Do you have poems that come out at first flush that you can't do anything with them, or do you still play with them?
Well, they all come out at first blush, and then I go back and take a look, and sometimes I'll make a change, sometimes I won't. But even if I don't make a change, if I go back 3 and 6 months later, I might find a line I don't like and make a change.
Right.
But everything, like when I write, I just start and it goes right till it's done. So that's that. When that's done, and then I don't even think more about it. I don't even read it over again. It's done. And then I'll do another.
Okay.
But so, I know what you're talking about when they come. Was that one I wrote 2 rhymers in my. I've written a lot of rhymers, but I wrote 2 that just poured through me. And I mean, it's unusual for a rhyming poem to pour through you.
Yeah.
And amazingly enough, they're 2 of my very favorite poems. And I get so many requests for both of them that it just amazes me.
Okay.
To think that, you know, they just came. They just came.
Perfect. Well, you know, we're quickly running out of time. I'm looking at so thank you for all this. You've been listening to the PI Poetry Show with Candice James. I was hoping we'd have time for you to ask me a question, but I think we're above and beyond that. I'm looking at. And by the way, I'm going to see if we can slip this in. This is our last show of the season, and we will reopen again mid-September. And so Candice is our fabulous guest and how we closed this year's show. So you've been listening to the PI Poetry Show, CKUW 95.9. Thank you for listening, and thank you, Candice.
Thank you so much, Carmelo.
Oh, you're welcome.